Imagine you were born into a family that has been fighting every single decade, every single generation, for almost their entire existence. Not because they wanted to. Not because they were bloodthirsty. But because that's just the world they lived in. Now imagine that family isn't a family at all. It's a country. And that country? It's the United States of America. Here's a number that will stick with you, 93%. That's the percentage of its history that the United States has been at war. Since declaring independence in 1776, America has spent only about 17 years, 17, in a state of genuine, documented peace. Think about that. If you compressed all of American history into a single 24-hour day, peace would last less than 2 hours. Everything else? Conflict. Combat. War. Now before you think this is just an anti-American argument, hold on. Because this isn't really about blame. It's about something far more fascinating. Every empire, every superpower in history, Rome, Britain, the Mongols, they all share this same pattern. Power doesn't sit still. It expands, it defends, it fights. And the United States, whether you love it or hate it, became the most powerful nation on earth. And power always comes at a cost. The Revolutionary War. The War of 1812. The Civil War where Americans literally fought Americans. 2 world wars. Korea. Vietnam. The Gulf. Afghanistan for 20 years. Iraq. And dozens of smaller conflicts most people have never even heard of. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Most Americans, most people alive today, have never experienced a major war on their own soil. They've watched it on screens. Read about it in textbooks. But the soldiers, the families, the communities, they've lived it, generation after generation, in places most people can't even find on a map. There's a quote often attributed to George Orwell, and whether he said it or not, it's painfully true: people sleep peaceably in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. That's the paradox of a war nation. The people fighting often aren't the ones who decided to fight. And the people who decided? They rarely see a battlefield. So what do we do with a number like 93%? Do we feel proud? Ashamed? Scared? Maybe the honest answer is, all three. Because this isn't just American history. It's human history. Every civilization that has ever risen to power has left behind a trail of wars. That's not an excuse, it's a pattern. And patterns only change when people actually look at them. So next time someone tells you war is inevitable, remember there's a 7% that says otherwise. Small. Rare. But real. And maybe that 7% is exactly worth fighting for.
Subscribe Info Beyond Borders now for more mind-blowing knowledge.